What's up, nerds? So, I watched House of the Dragon last night, season 2, episode 1 and everything. And the first thing I want to say is that I'm really happy that we're back in this world. I haven't read the book since before season 1, so my knowledge may be a tiny bit shaky because I'm trying to remember every single detail. But the thing that I don't like about this show is the things that they change, okay? Because it's, for me personally, it's like it's one of those things, like, I'm not mad about it. It's just, if you change these things, it doesn't make more sense than what it was in the source material. And so, for instance, in season 1, when Valerian, the black guy, with the white hair, a cool character and everything, and so he dies, and I'm putting this in quotations. Now, in the book, he totally dies. He dies, and that's how it happens. But in the show, he doesn't die. They just fake his death, and then he gets on a boat and he goes off to, old Valyria or whatever. I can't remember where he goes. Please don't get on my case if I forget these small details, okay? You assholes. And okay, so this is the thing. Just because he gets on a boat and goes away for a while doesn't mean that that somebody else gets to fly his dragon Sea Smoke. Because it's like, you have to die to sever that connection. It's not like Wi-Fi, like where you go off, if you get far enough, this connection is severed. No, it's a connection for life until you die. So the fact that he didn't die does not sever his connection with Sea Smoke. Sea Smoke is still his dragon. And that kind of like annoys me a little bit when they change those things, because, if you would have been upset that they killed off the gay character, well, then that's all on you. But it doesn't make sense when it comes to the lore of the whole situation. So I just go, they should have killed that character off because it made more sense. And they do something in here that I think is they changed something at the very end. If you watch it, it was brutal. But they didn't show anything. You just heard it, and I was like, oh, that's sad. But they changed something that I don't think that it was better than the source material. So therefore, and I don't think it added anything. So therefore, I think it was a bad choice. I'm not mad about it. It's just, it was a bad choice. And we'll get to that. And I'm going to go through this breakdown as fast as possible, because I know you've seen it. I've seen it. He's seen it. He's seen it. Everybody's seen it already. And my thoughts are my thoughts. But I like putting my thoughts out there in the ether. Okay, so now I'm going to pull up the episode. I just want to say, first things first is they changed this beginning. I don't like this tapestry thing going on here. Hold on, let me just do this. I don't like this tapestry thing going on here. It's kind of annoying a little bit. Like, I just wish that they wouldn't have not done this, but it's like, whatever, they changed it, and I was like, I didn't like the season one, and I don't like this one. So now we're just going to get through this sucker. So first things first is they go to the wall, right? And they're talking to this dude, which is the new Stark, one of the Starks. Okay. And this is, what's his face? Rhaenyra's son, the eldest one. And he is flying, I believe, Tesseron. I think that's how you say his name. I don't remember. I don't remember which kid this is. They all have, like, was it Lysaries that died in the last one? That's the thing. They always name all these kids the same thing, and I'm all like, can we just name your kids like Jon or something? Jon Snow is easy to remember, anyways. So we get this kid. Now, if you remember correctly, he looked a lot different in the last season. It looked like he had a wig on. He looks way better here. If this is the same actor, I don't know. I didn't look into it, but he looks way better here. I was like, good job. So they're up on the wall, right? And he's talking to him about, hey, we need your help. And, and he talks about how every 1 out of 10 men come to the wall and they help out, and they look at it as an honor. So he's showing him, he's like, here is where your ancestors stepped and they looked out onto the great north. And he's all like, not even their dragons would go in there. And he's like, what's beyond this? And he's like, death. And I'm all like, oh, get the fuck out of here with your melodrama. Although there is death. Yeah. Now, I have to be honest with you. I do not want to know any more above the. But this is the only time I want to see the wall in this whole fucking show because I don't remember the wall ever being in there. So he's gonna send him all these old people, right? All these old dudes. They call them graybeards and stuff. He's like, I got 1,000 graybeards that have. And he's like, we need fighters and everything. Sorry, I'm not doing the right accent. But he gets a crow that basically says his little brother is dead. And you're all like, oh, that sucks. So then, right here, I just want to show this real quick because I actually did like this little part right here. So she flies in here, right? And this is super cool that they have this little thing. Now, this is Melee's right here, the dragon. So this is how they dismount, right? They get here and like, she's all like, I'm getting off my dragon. And so she's like totally war torn. Like she's like, I am exhausted, honey. And she gets off here. And he's all like, yo, we're gonna go and we're gonna attack the Red Keep. And we are totally gonna kill Vhagar. We are gonna fuck his shit up. Vhagar is a goner. And we're gonna kill Aemond because he killed, my stepson. And she's all like, Melee's needs to gorge herself, and so do I. And I need rest, and she needs rest, all that stuff. And he's all like, and she's all like, I've got a bunch of the sea to fricking take care of, my dude. And he's like, you're gonna come with me now to attack them. I command it. And she's like, well, if you were king, you could command it, but you're not. And I liked his whole little thing. Like, you had the opportunity to end this bitch, and you didn't take it. And she's just all like, I did. You're right. I did have the opportunity, fuckface, and I didn't take it. My bad. So then this part right here. Now, I just want to say right here, when it comes to Rhaenyra and her looking for the body of her son, because that was another thing that he was complaining about, is Rhaenyra is off on Syrax, looking for the body of her son. And she tells him, he's like, when my daughter died, the only thing that curbed my sadness a little, what I needed closure was to see the body. So she's looking for the body, and look at that. She's so sad. I felt so bad for her. She's looking on like all this. Oh, she's like looking for it because she's like super sad. So then we go over here where we see old man Valyrian, and he got wounded last season, and this guy right here, who's from that show on HBO, the one where he plays a robot, basically. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, so he's like, you pulled me from the sea. And he's like, yeah, I pulled you from the sea and everything. He's like, thank you or whatnot. And this is definitely his kid. Like, it's his kid. Like, it's one of his bastards, which they kind of play a part later on, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to go over and he has a knife. He commissioned a knife for his son that died, or his grandson that died. And so here we go in the Red Keep. And this is one of the twins. And they're all like, a dragon is coming and everything. And they're like, hold, it's Vhagar. And there's Aemon and everything. And, he lands and everything's good to go. So then he walks in, right? Now, here's the thing. So he walks in. He's like, where's my son? I want to take him to get to the small council and everything. And he leaves the daughter because he's got twins. Now, in the book, he has an eldest son and then he's got the twins. And she's all like, I'm scared. And he's all like, don't be scared. We will take care of them. And she's like, I'm not scared of the dragons. I'm scared of the rats. And what does he mean by that? He means these bitches with the big ass eye, these thick ass eyebrows. What is this? Amelie. She's got her big ass eyebrows there and her little hooker friends. And he's all like, and they're looking around for rats and shit. But what she means is that they're all spies for the guy with the cane that likes to jerk off to feet. Ew. If feet are your thing, I'm judging. It's gross, whatever. Anyways. And he's like, our queen is a little crazy. Okay, so then we go to this, and Sir Cole, he is just munching box on the queen regent, whatever her title is, right? And let me just tell you right now, hold on, let me pull me up right here. Okay, I just want to say something real quick. So when it comes to these sex scenes and everything, they really have dropped the ball, in my opinion, these days, because they hire these intimacy coaches. And I am convinced 100% that these intimacy coaches have never fucked before. Because I'll tell you right now, when he's munching out her box, I'm like, this is not how this shit goes down. I'm like, trust me, in the real world, it's a lot different. You guys are just like being weird about it. And it's not good. It's not like, it doesn't doesn't give me blood flow. I don't know about you, because like the sex scenes these days are fucking trash, and this is no exception. I was like, this man has never munched a box before. I can tell because he is he's got the dress pulled over his head. I'm all like, what's going on here? You throw it off and pull the panties to the side. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, all right, back to the talk. Okay. So she's all like, we can never do this again. And he's all like, yeah, whatever you say, honey. And it's like, whatever. Your downstairs is going to be tingling in a couple of days. Trust me, honey. You know how it is when you get that tingle and you're all like, I need it now. And so he's like, whatever you say, my lady. Will you help me out with my cape on? She's like, sure. And so then we see this guy right here. Now, this right here is the rat keeper. That's Cheese, which Blood and Cheese. Okay, well, I'll tell you when I get to this. So here's the small council, and in comes the king with his little boy, and they all sit down, and he keeps taking this Lannister guy's little orb thing, which I'm all like. Now, me personally, sorry, I need salivation. Me personally, I have 2 kids. If they were grabbing that ball and like playing with it, I would just let them have it. I don't know about you, but I'm just like, all right, fine, just take it. It's what I don't need this thing to conduct my business kind of thing. But this asshole is very much like, I need it and everything. So then he's all like, well, why don't you give my kid a piggyback ride around the room? And the queen is all like, we have more pressing matters, no matter what Mr. Lannister wants to play his silly games. He's like, yes, my fault, my silly games. And he's all like, will you please take the prince off to his lessons? And I'm all like, why did you bother with this kid if you were just going to send him out 2 seconds later? The king is an idiot. Anyways, in comes Aemond, which I just want to say right now, we got to stop naming these kids. Again, stop naming them like Aegon and Aemond and all these like Rhaenyra and Rhaenyra. They all sound the freaking same. And I do not like, I don't like it in the books. I don't like it now, but hey, whatever. Fights Aemond in here because Aemond's the best sword and got the biggest dragon. So Aemond's trying to get them all like, be like, hey, we need to do this, dude. And then the Hand is all like, we need warriors because they haven't officially declared war yet, but they're gathering up their troops and the flags and the banners. And they're like, we need the Riverlands, which will play. I think it's going to play a role in the next movie. And Harrenhal will also play a huge role in this because that's, I think that's how they're going to end the season. And I don't want to talk about it right now, but I'll talk about it. Maybe I'll talk about it at the end. Okay. So pushing past, let's get past this portion right here because I mean, like, this was fine and everything. Okay, so here she is talking to the feet fucker. He is gross with it. Look, the cripple is just nasty. I don't like the cripple, but if you like the cripple, cool. And he basically says, I've taken care of all the spies, people that leaked all the info. Look at his ugly little cripple face. And he's all like, I put my people in place, and they're everywhere. The little rats, he calls them. I believe he calls them rats. Anyways, and he's like, even your maids. So then she's up in taking a bath, right? And she's like, what are these bitches doing to my bath salts and shit? And she's like, go, I'll do it myself. You guys are gross with your big ass eyebrows. So then Rhaenyra, she comes across these little fishermen, right? And they pull the wing up of the dragon that her son was flying, right? And she flies down because she's all like, mommy needs to know what's going on here. And I want to play this a little bit. Hold on, let me just play this a tiny bit because I like the way she dismounts. I like that they show this shit because it's really cool. But like, so she flies in and they're all like, dragon and everything. And they're all like, let's get the fuck out of here. Because this is the time when dragons weren't, scarce, But when Daenerys shows up with the dragons, they're all like, they've never seen a dragon before, so they're not scared. Now, I'm going to show you this because because when she dismounts, I like that she uses the wing to like kind of slide off of it. And I liked that. So then she rocks over, right? And sorry. Coffee is life. And she sees the wing and she goes in a little bit and she sees that it's the cloak of her son. And she starts to lose it, right? Because she realizes that her son is now gone and it's official. And This part was really, really sad. I didn't like it. Like the part with her son later on was really, really heartbreaking for me personally. But like she starts crying, and the thing that I liked that they added a little touch that I liked a lot in this was this Cyrax starts crying with her. Like it's like, see, and there's that's why I was talking about that connection earlier. And it's so then let's move forward a little bit. Sorry, guys. I'm like, this thing is acting weird. So I'm like trying not to. So here we have the king, and these people are asking for stuff, and he's asking for his sheep back. And the king at first gives him back his sheep, but then the hand in front of everybody is all like, we can't give him back his sheep. We need to feed the dragons. This is not cool, dude. And so he's like, I'm sorry, dude. We can't give you back your dragons. I'm sorry. I spoke too soon. My bad. And I'm all like, whatever. You're kind of a dickhole, but anyways. And I've been like, if it was me though, I'd have been like, what's your face? Don't contradict me in front of everyone again, fucker, or I'll take your fingers. I'll take your hand. You won't be the hand anymore because you won't have one. And so hold on, I'm gonna skip past this because this part was the thing about this episode. It set up a lot of stuff, but it was kind of a little boring a little bit. Okay, so but he does decide he's gonna pay all of the smithies to build all their shit because he's like, we need this shit, and we're gonna pay them in coin now. We're not gonna pay them later. No IOUs. Pay them now. So fast forward, this boat gets pulled off the shores of Dragonstone, and we got this white worm bitch up in here, right? And if you remember, she's kind of like a spy or whatever. I'm all like, whatever. So she goes and talks to Aegon, right? And he's all like, I don't really care for you. Tell me what you know. And she's like, I don't know anything. They cast me aside. You royals do not care about little folk like me. Us peasants, we have to just scrape by and stuff. So, and he finds out shit from her later on, so then he can go and, get into the Red Keep. Well, Cyrax and Rhaenyra show back up. They show up, and she comes in. And I liked this part because she is just basically like, she comes to the head of the table, right? And they're all going through their motions and being like, this is what we're going to do. We got the peeps and stuff. And she's all like, I want Aemon's head. And I'm like, ooh, so good, so good. All right. So then that's all she says. Then her son comes in, right? Her eldest son. And he's all like, Your Highness, we have enough. And he starts to cry. And she starts to cry also, and she goes to him. And this part was just so sad. It's not a queen with her subject, like her son. It's a mother and her son. And they're mourning the loss of her son and his brother. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this shit. I know. I'm not gonna cry now, but this shit was making me tear up because I was like, this is just sad shit, yo. So I thought this part was really touching, in terms of that kind of nonsense. Okay. So we need to hurry this stuff up. So they have the funeral for him, and that was kind of nice. They burn like toys and shit and all that stuff, and blankets and robes and all that stuff to remember him by. And she's sad, but she wants revenge. It's revenge time. It's go time. So Aemon goes in here and he's talking to Blood, right? And Blood he doesn't like the Hightowers or whatever. He's like, fuck the Hightower. It's got a real manly, deep voice. I was like, yeah. And they go and talk to Cheese, right? And Cheese, he's a rat catcher in the Red Keep. And he's all like, I'm going to give you some money to go. I want a head for a head. So then Aemon is sitting here talking to Cole, right? And he's basically like, they're basically like, your brother doesn't have to be king. The hand does. He talks to him about how he needs to keep his cool because his brother can't keep his cool. Aegon is he's like a hothead and he can't keep his impulses. He can't keep those in check. But if Aemon can do it, maybe Aemon can be king. And because he's like the best fighter and he's got the best dragon. He's got the biggest dragon at least. So then these two, so Blood and Cheese. Now these two, this is where I thought they would end season 1. I thought they would end it with Blood and Cheese. So they go into the castle, right? And they're going past the king and they're trying to find Aemon because they're going to kill Aemon, right? And they're going to take his head, a head for a head, or a son's head for a son's head. But they can't find him. So he finally goes in. They run across with that big ass eyebrow chick, right? And then they come across the mom, okay? And this is Helena, right? Because he hears cheese in the room. And this is Helena. He's got her at knife point. And there's the twins in the bed, but they can't tell the difference because they have their hair the same and they're twins and everything. Although I could tell the difference. And they're like, which one's your son? And so she basically she points out the son to them. And she's looking at him and he's all like, she's telling the truth. Because they're like, how do we know she's telling the truth? And we can't go back with the wrong head. So she starts getting her shit together. She's like, this is going down no matter what. And so she goes and she grabs up her daughter, right? Now, in the book, hold on. So she grabs up her daughter and she is running all over she's like, I need to get, and she keeps gasping, right? Because when she gasps, that's when she catches her shit. And she goes into her mother's room where her mother is fucking the shit out of Cole, right? And I won't show it because, again, those intimacy coaches suck balls. So then she's all like, they killed the boy. And then that's where the episode ends. Now, I want to just say this end part where there's the two twins. So in the book, Helena and Aegon have 3 children. They have their eldest son, and then they have the 2 younger twins, right? And when Blood and Cheese break into the Red Keep, right? He says they make Helena choose between the 2 boys. They say, do you want us to kill your firstborn or your secondborn? And Helena, she's got a Sophie's choice here. She decides for them to kill the secondborn because the firstborn is the heir to the throne. And she doesn't want to have him killed or whatnot because he's the heir. So she decides to kill the secondborn. But in a turn of events, they kill the firstborn. But before they leave, they're all like, remember, your mother wanted you to die. She chose you to die. And then they leave. So therefore, for the rest of his life, that's what he's going to think about. His mother chose him to die. And that's good shit right there. I mean, it's not good shit, but it's good shit right there. And they changed it up, and that's why I don't think it's better than the book, and I don't think it was the right choice here. Because now what's going to happen? Like, the daughter's going to grow up and be like, yeah, my mom chose me instead of my brother. Like, okay, big fucking whoop. I'm like, I personally didn't think it was the right choice. I'm not mad about it, but it was the wrong choice, in my opinion. So that was the end of the episode. And I think this show is still doing a good job. This was a setup. It was a brutal setup, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was good. It was a little boring just because it took some time and it was a lot of talky, no action, which is fine. But at the same time, I think the next episode, we're going to get some action. And I do think that they're going to end this with the assault on Harrenhal. That will be the end of this season, the assault on Harrenhal. And something big happens there. And I don't want to tell you if you don't know, but if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be good. Let's just say it involves Cyrax, and he is my favorite. No, not Cyrax. Craxus, which is the red worm, my favorite dragon. Okay, you guys, I'm going to end it there because I've taken way too much of your time on this bullshit. But I loved this episode. I love this show. It's so good. Can't wait for next Sunday and everything where we can chit chat about it on Monday and all that good stuff. But tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your favorite part? Who's your favorite character? Are you on the blacks or the green side? You know what I'm saying? I'm on the black side. So let's just get this sucker done. All right. Tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you mention, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys on my next House of the Dragon breakdown and review. You guys have a good day. Bye.